Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode. Today, I'm going to put this braided line onto my new Baitcaster reel. If you're new to using a Baitcaster reel, it can be intimidating putting line on the reel for the first time. However, it's actually really easy. But you do have to keep in mind a few different things. I'm going to show you those things to look out for so you have the best experience on the water. Let's get into it. So this is the braided line that I'm going to use. It's 0.148 millimeter in diameter, made in Japan. It's a Daiwa braided line. That's supposed to work the best with this Daiwa reel. So the reel I got is the Fugo SV103 SHL CS. I'm not too sure what all the letters mean, but one thing I care about is the L. That means you're reeling with your left hand. I am right-handed, so I cast with my right hand. If you're casting with one hand, you should be reeling with the other hand. Never switch hands in the middle. Comment down below if you don't agree with me. This kind of is a discussion. Yeah, so this is what the specs of the reel if you're interested. Let's open this box, and I just want to take one moment to appreciate how beautiful this reel is. Check it out. Smooth as butter. Supposed to cast really good. Anyways, without further ado, let's get into it. When you're reeling the reel up, you do want to have a piece of rod. You also want the first guy. You want to feed it through the first guy. This is a 3-piece rod, so put the reel on the seat. Awesome. And one more thing I picked up, it helps with the spooling. So how it works is, I actually have never used this, so I'm kind of have an idea of how to use it. So you can open it. This is just from Amazon for like really cheap. If I can find it, I'll link it in the description. But you just clamp it, find the right size. So there's 4 sizes, and then what you do is you poke this through your reel. There is a spring here, and then you put it like this, and then you screw it in. There. So now you can just reel with this tool. It also keeps tension. So I'll take my line here. See, there is good tension on the reel, which is awesome. Then you don't need someone else to hold a pencil. So first you want to go through this first guy. And before we go any further, there is also one topic to cover, is whether to put backing on the reel or not. So what backing is a mono line that you put on first onto your reel, and then you attach the braid into your mono. And the purpose for that is to prevent slipping. If you look closely on the reel here, it's a kind of a really smooth material, and the braid line is so thin that it can slip, and over time it might come loose. However, I've never had that issue before. Also, I have a very small spool here. I just have a shallow spool. My recommendation is that for shallow spools, you just go straight braid. Don't even worry about putting on mono. Sometimes if you have a small spool and if you cast really far, the knot from the braid and the mono would actually catch the guys. When it catches, the spool still is going. When the spool has a faster speed than your line, that's when the bird nest happens, and you do not want that. So with a smaller spool, I would recommend just go straight on braid. And if you are worried about slipping, you could put some kind of tape. You know, the tape that you put on your wrist when you get injured, it's kind of a rough material. You can put that over your spool, so that way it's not slipping at all. Anyways, let's get started with the spooling. First, what you do, you have to go through this first guy of the reel, and then you can, if you can see, if you're reeling forward, this is going around like that. So you can put this line over top. Take some electrical tape. This is just to get the line around the reel. Some reels have holes in them, so you can thread it through and then rotate. That's pretty helpful. For me, I don't have those holes, so I'm just gonna put a piece of tape on there, just very loosely, because I'm just gonna take it right off. And then there, now you got your line around. you don't need this piece of tape anymore. First, you have to make a knot, just an overhand knot on this end. Can you see? Just a simple overhand knot. And you want to make sure this knot is really, really tight. Really tight. Okay? And then you want to cut off the tag end right after the knot. Okay? So I still got my piece here with the knot. And then what you do is you want to just tie another overhand knot with your main line here. Just a simple overhand knot. And then cinch it down. Then you can pull your main line back, and this will cinch down. And you will stop. You will stop because you have a knot there. Just have it so it stops right at your knot. See? It stopped right at your knot. And keep in mind the reel is spinning this way, right? Here is when you put some tape over that knot so it doesn't come loose. Also, it doesn't interrupt your spooling. And when you're casting, it doesn't catch the knot. Cut another piece. This long is probably good. Okay. That's where you put that tape on there. There. Get that close up. See, now your tape is on there. Okay, so now your tape is on there, covering the knot. All you have to do is reel it in. But this is another thing that you have to look for. Make sure your reel your drag is on the highest. And reel the line on as tight as possible. This is to prevent bird nesting. Whenever your line is not 100% tight to your spool, the line digs into itself. When you cast, this line is not gonna fly out as smooth as it should be, but the spool is still flying out very, very fast, and this is when the bird nest can blow up. So make sure, this is very important, to have your line reeled up as tight as possible. And this is when this tool comes in handy too. So I'm gonna just tighten it a little bit more, and then tighten my drag down all the way. And then, yeah, you can see there is some resistance, lots of resistance. Actually, would like it just a little bit more resistant. It's like fighting a fish, a big fish. Now, you're ensured to have a very good spool. I actually really like this tool. Then Haley doesn't have to, she's behind the camera, so she doesn't have to hold a pencil, or you don't have to like burn your thumb and index finger like this. I don't like that. And that could damage the line too, right? Yeah, this is a good tool. I'll see if I can find it. I'll link it in the description. I think this line is where I want to stop. I don't want it to over spool. The more you spool, the further you can cast, but then also the higher chance that you might get a bird nest. So I'm just gonna be cautious and not spool too much. But I am really enjoying this tool. Okay, I think that's plenty. I'm happy with that. So one last tip, when you're done with fishing, make sure you keep tension on this reel. So have your bait or have your swivel clipped onto a guy or whatever and crank it down so there's tension on the line so it doesn't come loose. But yeah, that's a quick video showing you how to put a line on your Baitcaster reel. Mono line is the same way, exactly. And to attach mono and braid, if you do want backing, what knot you need is a Alberto knot. So keep that in mind. That's the most slim and best knot for that connection. But anyways, I hope you found this video helpful. And as always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.